Yeah, Avinash, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What are we doing?
About metals and non-metals.
Yeah, till where we are completed?
Up to fifth, fifth property, sir. Reaction of metals with water.
Reactions of
Metals with water.
Acha, okay. So, is this way completed?
Yes, sir.
The sodium and water gives us sodium hydroxide.
Yes, sir.
Right, okay. Okay then. So the next one is what? This also we completed, I think, no? Amphoteric oxides. Metal reaction with acids. Are we completed?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So the next one is metals react with acids. So reaction of metal with acids. When metals react with acids, they displace the hydrogen from the acid, okay, and it forms the salt along with the hydrogen gas is liberated. Okay. So we might have studied about the displacement reaction. Did you study about the displacement reaction?
No, sir.
No, huh? Acha, okay. Displacement reaction means what? One more reactive element displaces means what? Removes less displacement element from its compound and occupy its place. Okay. So that is called displacement reaction. So here generally metals being more reactive than hydrogen. So here metals displaces the hydrogen from their acids. Okay. So example we see here. Okay. So here you see metal with the dilute acids give the salt and hydrogen. For example, you can say one metal. Any metal you can say one example. See, if you know this one, which if you know the general equation, this is called a general reaction. You should know, if you know the general reaction, should be able to write the chemical equations for that. Okay. Now, for example, you say metal. Okay. You can take any metal, for example, say zinc. Okay. So, can you see on the screen? So, zinc. Okay. Now, zinc, when it is, see, this is metal, zinc is a metal. Okay. It is reacting with a dilute acid. Now, you take one dilute acid like sulfuric acid. Okay. Sulfuric acid formula is what? H2SO4. Yes or no? H2SO4. Now what happens? Now this zinc displaces. Displaces means what? Remove. Okay. So hydrogen. So zinc displaces hydrogen and occupies its place. So when hydrogen comes here and this goes there. So now what are the products formed now you say?
Zn2S4.
No, two, only one Zn is there, no, only one Zn is there. So Zn, only one Zn is here. So ZnSO4 plus here two hydrogens are coming out. So this is two hydrogen. So here this is the metal and this is the acid. So when metal react with acid and this forms the salt and this is the hydrogen gas. Is this clear to you? So see here, when metal react with a dilute acid, it forms a salt and releases hydrogen. Okay. So like this you have to remember, metal when react with acids to give a salt and hydrogen gas. Okay. That if you know, this statement. So this if you know, then you can write any type of reactions. Okay, not only with the zinc, you can write any other metal you can take aluminum, you can take the magnesium, you can take the sodium, you can take the copper, and you take the acids also like nitric acid, sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, okay, any acid. So when they react, so that forms one salt and releases the hydrogen gas. Okay, so now here what example is there? Okay, let us see here. Achha, here some examples are not given, but here one important point is there. So here you see, generally when metals react with the dilute acid, liberate the hydrogen gas. See, it releases the hydrogen gas. But here hydrogen gas is not evolved when metal react with the nitric acid. Okay, with the nitric acid, that's what I have taken a sulfuric acid here. What I have taken here? Sulfuric acid. Okay, but reacting with the sulfuric acid, liberate the hydrogen. But it do not, okay, release the hydrogen gas when it react with the nitric acid. Nitric acid formula is what? HNO3. What is the formula of nitric acid? HNO3. Why? Because HNO3 is a strong oxidizing agent. Okay, so HNO3 is what? Strong oxidizing, okay, agent. So that is the reason it cannot. But of course, magnesium and manganese may react with the nitric acid to revolve the hydrogen gas. Okay, so this is about the reaction of metals. So what you do is you can write okay, this you write metals react with acids, right? The only this topic you write metals react with acids. Chalo, right? Metal reacts with acids. Now then write the statement. Metals react with acids to give a salt and a hydrogen gas. Write that statement. Metals react with acids to give a salt and a hydrogen gas. This is a statement, and this is called word equation. This is called word equation. Means you are writing by using the words. Okay, so that's what it is called as a word equation. Okay, now write word equation. Metal plus dilute acid gives rise to, means arrow mark, salt plus hydrogen. Now example you write. Example you write this one now. Okay, example. This is an example. Okay, zinc. In the place of metal you can write zinc. Okay, plus dilute acid. So write H2SO4. So what you are getting? One salt. How do you get? This hydrogen is displaced by this zinc. So in the place of hydrogen, then zinc will come. So zinc sulfate. So this is salt, zinc sulfate. Now what is the hydrogen coming out? That you write here. So this is called a chemical equation. What it is called?
Chemical equation.
So chemical equation. Okay, so that is about the reaction of metals with acids. Okay, then we go to the next one. This all not required. Now metals react with the solution of other metal salts. Okay, this is another type of reaction of metals. Okay, metal react with the solutions of other metal salts. Okay, so the meaning is that, for example, you see here, you see I am taking one beaker. Okay, let you think I am taking one beaker. Okay, so I am taking one beaker here. This is one beaker. Okay, now in this beaker what I am doing? I am taking some copper sulfate solution. What I am taking?
Copper sulfate.
Generally copper sulfate solutions are blue in color. Okay, so copper sulfate solution is blue in color. Okay, so this is blue in color. So this copper sulfate solution I am taking. So this is copper sulfate. Okay, copper sulfate solution I am taking. This is in blue in color. Okay, so copper sulfate solution. Okay, which is blue in color. I'll write blue also. Okay, now in that what I do? I'll take one iron A. I'll take one iron nail. Okay, so iron nail, what color it will be? Okay, I'll put like black. Okay, so I'll put one iron nail inside. Okay, some two iron nails I'm keeping inside. These are the iron nails. Okay, so these are the iron nails. These iron nails I'm keeping inside, and I'll wait for some time. Okay, so some time means what? It may be half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, whatever it may be. So I'll take, okay, wait for some time. Then, okay, if I see after 1 hour or 2 hours, then what happens? Okay, then what happens? The same beaker, okay, becomes like this. The same beaker, there is a beaker. Now in this solution, okay, it lightly turn into green in color. Okay, the solution is, the solution turns into green in color, and this iron rods are, iron rods are coated with red color. Here other colors are not there. Okay, so red color. Iron nails becomes like this red color. Okay, now can you expect what happens here? What happened here?
Copper sulfate.
Try. Now what might have happened here? Think. So see, if I write, I think you guess now. So here I am taking, okay, zinc pieces in copper sulfate. So I am writing here, I am taking zinc, okay, in copper sulfate solution. Okay, copper sulfate solution. Now, so copper sulfate solution was blue in color. Okay, now I said that this after some time it turned into light green color solution. Okay, now and this okay, this converted to red in color. Okay, like reddish brown in color. Now what might have happened? What might have happened there, and what are the products formed there inside? Can you guess?
Copper sulfate dissolves.
So what happened now? What are the product might be formed? What product might be formed? Now what after the reaction, what happens here? I am taking the reactants zinc and copper sulfate, sorry, zinc and copper sulfate. Now the reaction, when I am taking here copper sulfate and iron nails are the reactants here. Okay, these are the iron nails. Okay, now what might happen? So that color is changed here. Think, guess now. Just now I said that before reaction, before this what I said, that reaction, what I said, okay, that you apply here, you will come to know what are the products formed here. What I said in the before reaction, when metal react with acids, then what I said, what type of reaction, what happens, I said. So here you are not getting the concepts. You have to understand the concept. In the previous slide, what I said that, okay, the metals displaces, okay, displaces hydrogen. Displaces means what I said, remove the hydrogen and occupies that place. I said yes or no. So here also what happens, the zinc displaces copper. Okay, here copper is there, sulfate is there. So the zinc displaces copper, means what? Zinc, iron. Okay, so you have taken iron, no? Okay, no problem. You can take the zinc also. Okay, but here I have taken iron, so that's what I'll take the iron only. Again, you'll get confused here. So I'll take iron. Okay, I'll take iron. So now what happens? Okay, so this iron displaces the copper, means what? Remove the copper. Okay, remove the copper from that place and it goes and occupies its place. Now copper sulfate becomes what now? Iron sulfate. That only, that small thing you are not able to say. So iron sulfate is formed, and this, see, this copper is coming out. So this copper is coming out. So this happens here. Okay. Now if you see the iron sulfate color, the iron sulfate color is pale green in color. How it is? Pale green in color, and whatever the copper is coming out, that is depositing on the iron nails. So this red color which is there, that is the copper. That is the copper, and this blue colored solution turned into green color, and this is iron sulfate. Is this clear to you now? So here what's happening? So when I am taking the copper sulfate solution which is blue in color, in that blue color copper sulfate solution I am taking the, I am keeping the iron nails. So iron nails, the reaction is taking place. So iron nail is a metal. So see, this is a metal, this is the metal, and reacting with what? Solution of other metal. So I am taking the copper is also metal, no? So in the copper sulfate solution of other metal. Okay, so it is combining with the solution of other metal, and here it is displacing. Okay, so iron is displacing the copper from the copper sulfate solution, and it's occupying its place and forming the iron sulfate. Is this clear to you? This is called displacement reaction. Such type of reactions are called displacement reaction. So displacement means what? One more reactive element displaces less reactive element from its compound and occupies its place to form a new compound is called displacement reaction. Okay. Now you see. Now what happens now? See. Now for example, I do it in reverse order. In the reversed order. Reverse order means what? For example, I am taking the iron sulfate solution. See now, initially, now here I have taken the copper sulfate and I added the iron pieces. Yes or no? Okay. But here what I am doing here I am taking the iron sulfate solution I am taking. For example, imagine, ulta I am taking. So I am taking iron sulfate solution which is green in color, freshly I am taking one beaker. In that beaker I am taking the iron sulfate solution, and then I am adding the copper rods. Okay, I will take the two copper rods and I dip in the copper rod. So now how can I write? So I am dipping the copper rod. Source here I am dipping the copper rod. Okay, in which in the green color solution. Green color solution is what? Iron sulfate. Now I am dipping the iron sulfate solution. Okay, now I wait for 1 hour or 2 hours. Now what you will observe after 1 or 2 hours?
Copper sulfate solution.
What is formed here? What are the products formed here?
Copper sulfate.
So copper sulfate is formed, and more what is formed here? Plus copper displacing. So copper sulfate, iron will lift. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So your answer is wrong. This answer. Your answer is wrong. Why? The reason is that this reaction do not takes place. Reaction only not takes place. Okay? The reaction does not take place here. Is this clear to you?
Yes.
Now the question rises, why? Now you think and say, why? Okay, the reaction will not take place here. Here if the reaction has taken place here, when I am putting the iron in copper sulfate, so iron displacing the copper and we are getting the iron sulfate and copper. But when you place the copper in iron sulfate, okay, the reaction is not taking place. Why? Can you guess? Yes? If once you might have read yesterday's in the previous class topics, then you can give the answer. If you read the previous topics, okay, then you can give this answer, okay, for this question. Okay, I will say. The reason is that in the previous class I explained you that all metals are of not same reactive nature. Yes or no? So here all metals are not with same reactive nature, but they have different reactivity nature. Some are very reactive, some are moderate reactive, some are least reactive. Means some are very easily reactive and some are moderate, okay, normally reactive. Some are least reactive, lazy metals are there. So they do not react at all. Go Rabbi, I'll sit here only, they'll say. Okay. So such type of metals are there. Yes or no?
Yes.
So here what happens? Here this reaction why it do not takes place means what? Iron which is there, iron is more reactive than copper. Copper is less reactive. Copper is what? Less reactive. So more reactive element displaces less reactive element. More active metal displaces less reactive element. Okay, but a less reactive metal do not displaces more reactive metals. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
A very okay, more reactive metal means one more active boy is there, you think, like okay, Avinash. So Avinash is a active boy, okay, and is very interested in studies and is actively. So then what happens when you go to the in a new school, for example, you think yes, Avinash is going to one school to another school. So then what happens? Okay, there might be some other students out there who are getting the first rank. But I think Avinash is joined in that school. Then what happens? Avinash is more reactive. So then what you do? He will study well and he'll pull all the other students downwards and he will be the topper. Okay, because he is more active. Okay, if already Avinash is more active and is topper, if any other lazy student is there, can he overcome? Can he become topper by pulling down the Avinash? No, because he is not doing any work. So it's less reactive. You don't study well properly. Okay, is this yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So similarly, metals also different reactive metals are there. So in this different reactive metals, some are more reactive metals are there, some moderate means what, little bit less reactive elements are there, and some are very least reactive metals are there. Okay, so highly reactive metals displaces less reactive metals, okay, and occupies its place. But less reactive metals do not displaces high reactive elements. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So here why the reaction do not takes place means you can say that copper is less reactive than the iron. Copper is less reactive than the iron. So that's what the reaction will not take place. Okay, in the above reaction, here reaction takes place. Why? Because iron is more reactive than the copper. So that's what it displaces. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So now I'll rub this all. Okay, so I'm rubbing this one. Okay, understood this? Okay, this blue colored solution is copper sulfate, in that we are keeping the iron Is. After some time it becomes green color, that is iron sulfate solution. Okay, and this this becomes this one. Okay, a red in color due to deposition of copper. So this, see how you try to understand this all very neatly. I am explaining now. So you have to understand, and then concepts are very important. And after understanding the concept, once if you read from the notebook or textbook somewhere else, then you can remember them very long time. So see here now. Here, then I'll remove this one also. So you can understand here. Okay. So what is the sentence is there? You see now in the sentence. Read this sentence now.
Reactive metals can displace less reactive metals from other compounds in solution or
Molten form. So the meaning is what? More reactive metals. Okay. More reactive metals. Okay, can displace the less reactive metals. Can displace the less reactive metals because it's more reactive. So that is displacing the less reactive metal and occupies its place, okay, from their solutions. So this type of reactions are called displacement reactions. What this type of reactions are called? Displacement reaction. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So now see here, for example, metal A. One metal is there. So this is metal A, and it is combining with the solution of another metal B. Okay, it is in the mixing we are adding the metal A, which is more reactive. A is what? More reactive. So more reactive metal we are adding in the some less reactive metal solution. Then what happens? This A displaces, means remove the A metal from that and it occupies its place. So now it becomes a salt solution of A. Actually, you have taken the salt solution of B, but now it becomes what? A salt solution of A, because being it's more reactive, that displaces, okay, that less reactive element it is occupying its place, and so that metal B is coming here. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So this type of reactions are called example. So just now what the example is given, the same example is given here. This Fe stands for what? Iron. Okay, and CuSO4 stands for what? Copper sulfate. Okay, copper sulfate. Now this iron is more reactive than the copper, so that's what it is displacing. So what it's forming here? It's forming the iron sulfate. Okay, iron sulfate plus copper is coming out. Okay, so this reaction, is this clear now, this type of reactions?
Yes, sir.
So this is the now here see diagram is also given here. So in this diagram you see, here you see this is the blue colored solution. What is the blue colored solution? Copper sulfate solution. See, blue colored solution is a copper sulfate solution. In that what we are fixing here? Iron nail we are fixing. So this is the test tube. Okay, now this we kept, and after some time what happens this one? So here you see that turns into green color. If you take out this iron nail become red in color. Yes or no? Okay, because that copper is deposited on it. Okay, so this reaction is called displacement reaction. So now write this one. Is this clear now?
Yes, sir.
Chalo, write now. Okay, now write the heading: metals react with the solutions of other metal, and write
Yes, sir.
is it done?
Sir,
Okay, right.
Completed, sir.
Yeah, completed. Okay. Now we go to the next reaction. This understood now?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now come to the reactivity series. This already yesterday I explained you. Reactivity series means what? Some elements are at highly reactive, some elements are moderate reactive, some elements are least reactive. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So more reactive elements, okay, first will be there, and moderate reactive elements little bit down, and okay, least reactive metals will be completely down. So here you can say, so see here, the reactivity series is a list of metals arranged in the order of the decreasing activity. So they are arranged, and how they are arranged? Decreasing activity means what? More reactive at the top and less reactive down, still less reactive down. So like this it comes one by one, stepwise. Okay, so which elements are down, they are least reactive, which elements are top, they are more reactive. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So now here the series, this you have to copy now. So here you can see here. Okay, so among these metals, these all are metals only. These all are metals only. Okay, so this is potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver and gold. So here this potassium is more reactive than all these elements. Okay, but when I come to the sodium, sodium is less reactive than potassium, but it is more reactive than all these. Are you following?
Yes.
Now calcium is more reactive than these all metals, it is more reactive, but when I compare the potassium and sodium, okay, calcium is less reactive. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Now for example, if I say like magnesium and zinc, these two are there. Now you say in these two, only magnesium and zinc, which is more reactive?
Magnesium.
Magnesium is more reactive. Okay, now for example, I will take okay, I will take this is lead and copper. Now in this, which is more reactive?
Lead.
Lead is more reactive. So now among this one, which is the least reactive?
Gold.
Gold. So gold is the least reactive. Is this clear to you?
Yes.
Now for example, I'll ask one more question. Now I'll ask one more question, like for example, I'm taking the okay, I'm taking some calcium. For example, you think I'm taking the calcium, I am adding in the solution of iron sulfate, sorry, okay, iron sulfate. Does the reaction takes place or not? First you say, does the reaction takes place or not? You say first. Then you say why. Then you say what are the products formed. Okay.
Because
Now first you say yes or no. Reaction takes place or not?
yes, sir.
Yes. Now you say why.
Because calcium is most reactive than iron.
Very good. Now what are the product will form? Products. What are the products will form?
Calcium sulfate.
So
Plus iron.
very good. Calcium sulfate and iron. Is this clear to you now?
Yes, sir.
Now for example, if I add silver, okay, if I add silver, okay, in for example, you think aluminium chloride solution, you say first, does the reaction takes place or not? You say first, then you say why.
No, sir.
Why?
Because silver is less reactive than aluminium.
So here the reaction will not take place. Why? Because silver says very silver here down is there, and aluminum here is there. So aluminum is okay above the silver. So meaning is what? Aluminum is more reactive than the silver, or silver is less reactive than the aluminum. So being the silver less reactive than the aluminum, it do not displace the aluminum. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So it's very important which reactions are taking place, which metals are reacting and which are not reacting, which are more reactive. To know this one, This table is very, very important. Is this clear to you? Chalo, note down that reactivity series. Completed? Okay, very good. So that is about this one. Acha, now we stop with this today. Okay, so because the next topic is bigger topic, so now that in the next class we discuss about that. Okay, about the electropositive and electronegative, okay, metals, elements. Is this clear to you? So today what I said, till what I said, not today, till what I said from this chapter, you read each and every point very neatly, okay, perfectly you read, concentratedly. If you have any doubt, you ask in the next class so that I'll explain you, because this plays very, very important role, okay, in your coming classes and even in, okay, IIT also, IIT examination also. Is this clear to you? And in the next week, means the next class, I am going to explain you how to extract the metals, what are the various different methods are there in the extraction of metals. This is all I am going to discuss you. Okay? Okay. Okay. Bye then.